Good morning, Year 6. So, our final lesson this week, and our final lesson of this half term actually, until we have a break next week, is that we are learning to multiply and divide numbers, something we've been doing for quite a while, but just like the other two lessons we've done this week, it is a recap of previous learning, just to keep that learning fresh in your head, because these are really important things that we've done this week that you need to be able to do. You need to be able to do them with your eyes shut. You need to be able to do them in whatever context you get given. So that's what we're doing today. We're learning to multiply and to divide numbers. So what we will do is I will go through this one, talking through this one, and then I'll give you another one for you to have a go at. And we'll do the same with some divisions. Okay, so we've got a 4-digit number multiplied by a 2-digit number. So this number is going to be getting larger, considerably larger. It's going to be getting 42 times larger. So when we do this, we break it up, don't we? And this first line is when we multiply it by 2. Just like that. And if that was just the question by itself, what we'd have here would be the answer. However, we are multiplying by 42, aren't we? So this second line that we do is multiply it by 40. We've partitioned the 42 into 40 and 2. Then if you add 40 and 2 together, it equals 42, doesn't it? So we will add them up as well. Now, in my class, when we did one of these earlier in the year, I think we worked out there were about 21 potential ways to go wrong with this. There are an awful lot of calculations that you do to get this question. This is why these are 2-mark questions in the arithmetic test. It's because there are so many different ways that you can go wrong. So first of all, let's solve this when we're times it by 2. So we go multiplying by 2, and we go multiply it by the one in the ones column, then the tens column, then the hundreds, then the thousands, going across from right to left. So 2 times by 8 is 16. So the 6 goes here, the 1 goes over the next column. 2 times 1 is 2, add that 1 is 3. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 6 is 12. So the answer to 6,318 times by 2 is 12,636. Now we're going to multiply 6,318 by 40. Now, so that we're not saying 40 times 8, which is difficult, 40 times 1, 40 times 3, 40 times 6, they're much harder calculations. So if we were to add a 0 in here, that just means that everything has been moved over 1 within the place value column, and now we can do, say, 4 times 8 instead of saying 40 times 8, which is much more straightforward. So we've used this one up here, so we can rub that out. And it's exactly the same, multiplying this, starting from the right, going to the left, with the ones column, to the tens, the hundreds, to the thousands. So we go 4 times by 8, which is 32. So the 2 goes here, the 3 goes over the next column. 4 times 1 is 4, add the 3 is 7. 4 times 3 is 12. Put the 2 down, the 1 goes over in the next column. Then 4 times by 6 is 24. Don't forget to add that 1, 25. And you can see this second number will always be far larger than this number, because this number is larger than this number, isn't it? So then we need to add them. So 6 and 5, and then if we add these up, that's 13. Then if we add these up, that is 5, 6, and 2. And there we can see is our answer, 265,356. Okay, then year 6. So I'm about to pause the video there. Could you have a go at solving this one? 2,183 times by 57. Could you have a go at solving that one for me? Okay, so just like previously, we're going to split up 57, and we'll multiply it by the 7 first of all, and then we're going to be multiplying it by the 50. And then we'll add them, won't we? So first of all, we're multiplying 2,183 by 7. So we can do 7 times by 3, which is 21. the 2 goes over the next column. And then we do 7 times by 8, which is 56. Add the 2 onto that is 58. Then 7 times by 1 is 7. Then we add this 5 on top of that, which is 12. And then we do 7 times by 2, which is 14. Add the 1 is 15. So you can see there what we've done. We have multiplied 2,183 and we've times it by 7. Now, because we partitioned the 57, we need to then times it by the 50, don't we? So, just like the previous one, we're adding that 0 in there. We've used these so we can cross them out. Now, we've put that 0 in there because we're multiplying by 50, aren't we? And it's much easier to say 5 times 3, 5 times 8, then 50 times 3, 50 times 8, etc. So 5 times 3 is 15. So the 5 goes there, the 1 goes over on the next column. 5 times by 8 is 40, add the 1 is 41. 5 times by 1 is 5, add the 4 is 9. 5 times by 2 is 10. Nothing left to multiply, so we can just write in 10. This second number is larger than this number, so it looks right to me. And then we can start to add. So 1 and 0 is 1. 8 add 5 is 13. 2 add 1 is 4. 9 add 5 is 14. 1 add 1 and nothing is 2. And then the 1 goes there. So the answer is 124,431. And this question, as well as this previous question, they would have both been 2-mark questions on the arithmetic paper. And if you got that exact mark there, you would have got 2 marks if you got the exact number there. If you got one of these answers, one of these numbers incorrect, just one of them, you would have got 1 mark. So for example, if you added this incorrectly here and you thought that added up to 12 and you had that as your answer, you would have got 1 mark because everything else is done right. There's only 1 mistake in there. Okay, so have a look. If you didn't get this answer, have a look at your answer, and if you just got one of these digits wrong, then you would have got 1 mark. If you got it all right, just like this, you would have got 2. So that's multiplication year 6. Now we'll have a look at division, which is the inverse to that. It's the opposite, where we are splitting a number up rather than making the number bigger. So we've got 5,103, we divide it by 21. Now, different ways that we could do this. We could write out our 21 times tables down here, that's called the short method, or we could use the factor method, 2 numbers that multiply together to equal to 21. So what we can do is, let's have a go at doing both methods. So let's have a go first of all by writing out our 21 times tables, and that will help us to solve this question. So 21, we can add 20 to it to get to 41, add another 1, 42. Add 20 to it to get to 62, and then add another 1, 63. If we add another 20 to get to 83, add another 1, 84. Let's write out 4 and let's see if we need to go further after that. So how many times does 21 go into 5? It doesn't. So the 5 gets carried over. How many times does 21 go into 51? It goes in once, twice, doesn't it? What's the difference between 42 and 51? It is 9. How many times does 21 go into 90? Well, it goes in 1, 2, 3, 4 times. What's the difference between 84 and 90? It is 6. How many times does 21 go into 63? 1, 2, 3. So we've got the answer of 243 there. So if I just write the answer up there, and we will have a go at doing this using the factor method, and we will see if we get to the same answer, which of course we should do. This is just showing that there is more than one way we could have approached this question. So using the factor method, 2 numbers that we've got that multiply together to get to 21. Obvious ones are 3 and 7. So let's divide by 3 first of all, And then whatever our answer is would come down here and we would divide it by 7, because 7 times 3 is 21. We've used the factor method, and hopefully the answer that we get here with the second division should be identical to the one we got when we wrote out our 21 times tables. How many times does 3 go into 5? It goes in once with 2 left. How many times does 3 go into 21? 7. How many times does 3 go into 0? It doesn't. How many times does 3 go into 3? 1. So our answer comes down here, and we can solve this, and our answer should be 243. How many times does 7 go into 1? It doesn't, so the 1 gets carried over. How many times does 7 go into 17? It goes in twice, and the 3 left over. How many times does 7 go into 30? It goes in 4 times, and there are 2 left over. How many times does 7 go into 21? It goes in 3 times. And you can see the answers are identical. Some people prefer this factor method because it breaks it up into easy calculations. Some people, if they're very good at mental arithmetic, they prefer the short method. But you can see there are 2 different ways that we can solve that. So, could you have a go at solving this one for me? So you could write out your 36 times tables down here, or you could use the factor method. If I were to do this personally, I think I would probably use the factor method for this, but obviously that is up to you. So if you pause the video there, have a go at solving this, and then unpause it and see if you can get the answer as the same as I do. Okay, so if we were to begin to solve this and we were to write out our 36 times tables, it is a little bit trickier to do this, I think. So let's have a go at using the factor method. Which 2 numbers can we multiply together to get to 36? Well, the obvious ones to me are 6, because 6 times 6 is 36. So we could divide by 6 twice. So let's have a go at that. How many times does 6 go into 8? It goes in once, and there are 2 left over. How many times does 6 go into 28? It goes in 4 times with 4 left. Then we move on to the next bit. How many times does 6 go into 49? Let's see. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48. So it goes in 8 times, and there's 1 left. How many times does 6 go into 12? It goes in 2 times. Now we divide by the other 6, because 6 times 6 was 36, which is our original divisor. How many times does 6 go into 1? It doesn't. How many times does 6 go into 14? It goes in twice with 2 left. How many times does 6 go into 28? It goes in 4 times with 4 left. And then finally, how many times does 6 go into 42? It goes in 7 times. So we can see there that our answer to this is 247. Now this was definitely the most efficient method rather than writing out our 36 times tables. If we were to write out 36 times tables, we actually would have had to write out the answer to, we would have had to write it out 7 times. We would have had to write 36 times 7 down there, which is quite tricky to do. But I think because we're all so strong with our 6 times tables, this method was far, far easier. So what you are doing today, Year 6, you've got some multiplication and division questions to do on a worksheet. Have a go at solving them and then send them back to your teacher. Thank you very much, Year 6.